Hey everyone! So, spring is officially here, and to go with the chicken plush I made last week, I have a couple mini DIYs for you guys today. We're going to be making these cute little chicks, some eggs, and we're going to be crocheting a nest. To make all three of these, you're going to need to know how to sew, needle felt, and crochet. I know that's a lot of skills, so feel free to get creative by adapting certain pieces into your own area of expertise. For example, you could make the beak of the chick out of polymer clay and leave a hole in it to sew it on, kind of like a homemade bead, or wet felt or needle felt the nest. To make the chick, you're going to need a small piece of yellow sock fabric. This is a great project to use up scraps. The rest of the supplies we'll be using will be listed in the description box below. Now I'm going to be using this Sharpie marker to draw out the outline of the chick. Make sure that the head is really pronounced and that it's slightly larger than what you want the finished chick to be, because a lot of the definition will be lost when we sew and turn it. Mark out a space for turning about an inch wide. I'm just going to be threading the needle. Always tie several knots in your thread to prevent the knot from slipping through the fabric when working with fuzzy socks, because the fabric is so loosely woven. Backstitch along the outline we marked out earlier, being conscious of the space we left for turning. Once you get back to the beginning, fasten off with several knots and cut the thread. Cut out the piece with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Turn the piece and stuff it with a couple wisps of toy stuffing. Since this chick is so small, you could easily use yarn scraps or leftover bits of fuzzy sock fabric as stuffing. Use a running stitch to close the gap. Basically, what you want to do is make large stitches and pull it closed like a drawstring bag. Then make several stitches over it to make it extra secure. I'm going to make a stitch near the top of the neck to neaten up the shape, but it's totally optional if you feel like your chick doesn't need it. This chick has some black outlines ghosting through on one side because on this particular scrap, I had drawn a shape out but never sewed it, so you may not want to use fabric that's been drawn on, but the other side of my chick is fine. Tie a couple of slip knots and hide the end. To make the beak, I'm going to mix together a couple of shades of brown and tan needle felting wool I had in my stash. If you Google pictures of chicks, you could see the specific brown I was trying to create. Fold it in half and felt the end, then felt the remaining wool into a flat back. Now you can sew the finished beak onto the chick. I'm going to be super gluing on these two eyes, however if you have beads then you could use those as well. You could also make knots with embroidery thread. Moving on to the egg, you'll need a scrap of white sock. Draw out a rough egg shape with your Sharpie, then mark an inch-wide place for turning on the bottom. Sew around the outline like we did for the chick. Again, cut out the egg with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and turn it. Stuff it with toy stuffing, close it with a running stitch and secure it with a couple of stitches, then tie a slip knot and hide the end. This egg is probably one of the quickest and easiest sock plushes you can make. To crochet the nest, you'll need some worsted weight yarn and tan and a 4mm crochet hook. This pattern is written in US crochet terminology. You can make it any size you want, and I'll be showing you guys how to make the smallest size first, which holds 1 chick or egg. To start, make a magic ring and crochet 6 single crochets in it. Now increase in each stitch for a total of 12 stitches. Repeat the pattern of single crochet 1, increase, for the next round. I added a stitch marker in the first stitch that I knew where to stop for a total of 18 stitches. For round 4, single crochet 2, then increase and repeat for the rest of the round. You should have 24 stitches. Single crochet in each stitch around. To finish it off, make 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches and cut the thread. Pull the tail from the start of the piece through the nest and tie a knot. Then carefully weave the tail from the end into the piece and trim. To make a nest that holds 3 eggs or chicks, repeat the pattern of adding a single crochet each round, then increasing until round 7, then single crochet in each stitch for 1 round. You can adjust the number of increase rounds to make your own custom sizes as well. Here's how the finished products came out. I made 2 chickens, 3 nests of varying sizes, and 5 chicks, and I think they all came out really cute. All these projects are super easy and quick to make, so I just made as many as I could. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!